All right, begin.
What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys woke up happy and healthy. That's the most important thing. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to ask you guys a favor. Go ahead and hit that like button and also smash that share button so we can push this video through the algorithm and hopefully get this channel to where it needs to be. Now, with that said, let's go ahead and dive face first into the drama. And so I want to discuss this whole situation that's going down with Nene Leakes. Now, if you guys don't know, and I'm pretty sure most of you all are privy to this information because this story has been blowing up across the internet, right? So Nene Leakes was a guest co-host on V103, right? And she was asking questions about the passing of Greg and how the housewives conducted themselves and what did the housewives do for her, in regards to the celebration of Greg. So Nene took it upon herself to just be open and honest about the situation, and she said what she said. And so right now I want to play you guys a clip of Nene talking about the housewives and just explaining what the housewives did for her in the midst of her losing her husband, and also the fact that she brought up that Cynthia didn't make it to the initial celebration of Greg. All right, so shout out to the neighborhood talk first and foremost, and let's go ahead and roll this clip, and then after the clip, of course, I'll be back.
During Greg's passing, every housewife in the entire franchise, reached out to me. Kim Zolciak definitely have texted me since Greg has passed, and she has stayed in touch since then. So I would say that we are okay.
I don't want to name drop, but I would expect her to.
Who?
Cynthia. I would expect her to.
No. A lot of people expect that. No. She didn't even come to the repast. She did come like a week later after everything was done. She came by my lounge. It's really hard to explain Housewives. It's almost like a dysfunctional family. But they all reached out. They all sent flowers or something. Actually, I was surprised because the first set of flowers I got was a bouquet from like all the housewives. Like they went in together. I'm like, why do y'all need to go in together and buy some damn flowers? Like, it's all of y'all work. You don't need to just, let's go in together and buy $200 worth of flowers. Like, you can spend your own $200. That's the way I've always.
Hello. All right, so you guys heard what Nene had to say, and basically, like I said previously, she was just being open and honest about things. Now, I'm not the one to try to tell Nene what she can and cannot say. She's grieving. She just lost her husband. She has the right to vent. Now, I have to say, when I first heard this, I thought it was low budget, low class, and downright just embarrassing, because when you take into account that the Atlanta housewives are made up of individuals that have the same hue as I do, I just think that we should do better by one another. And so, these women make bank. Especially Candy, they make good money, right? So for all of them to come together and pitch in a measly $200 to buy Nene a bouquet of flowers in honor of Greg, I just thought that was a little bit low in my opinion. But later on in the clip that I'm going to show you, Nene actually cleaned it up and some of the girls redeemed themselves. Now, as far as Cynthia not showing up to the initial celebration of Greg, I will say this. Even though Cynthia is going to allude to the fact that her and her husband couldn't make it to the initial celebration, hey, Nene, you didn't show up to her wedding. So maybe Cynthia was just being petty. Now, I'm not saying that that's how Cynthia is thinking about the whole situation. I don't believe that, but hey, people hold on to grudges, so I don't put anything past no one. And look, it's also possible that Cynthia and her husband Mike Hill had prior obligations that they had to fulfill, so we have to take that into account as well. But anywho, I want to play you guys this clip from Fox Soul, right? The panel of Claudia Jordan and Funky Dineva and Al Reynolds. I think it's called TGIF, whatever it's called, right? Claudia Jordan has to pounce on Nene any chance she can get, and she found the opportunity to do that. So guys, I want to play you this clip and then I'll be back.
Nene Leakes recently appeared on V103 Atlanta and got a few things off her chest. She expressed that Cynthia Bailey didn't show up until a week after Greg passed away, but revealed that every housewife did reach out to her after his passing. Nene also questioned why the housewives pitched in to send her a $200 bouquet of flowers instead of buying their own. What are your thoughts on Nene's concerns? And by the way, I know for a fact everyone didn't pitch in. Some of us did send her stuff on our own. And I don't know. Al, this is your friend. What do you think?
This is so funny to me, and I couldn't wait till we got to this story. Let me tell you. Let me tell you why they pitched in and got a bouquet of flowers. Because they don't like you. You know what I'm saying? And they haven't liked you since you left, and they all celebrated you after you left. And here's what happened, because I know human nature very well. Girl, you know, I'm finna get a bouquet of flowers for Nene, child. Well, girl, how much is it? Well, girl, put my name on it and I cash app you $40 too. One person spearheaded it. Now, listen, from a human perspective, I think everybody felt sad that Greg passed, and it's the human thing to do. But we cannot, despite the Greg passing, ain't got nothing to do with the fact that they still don't really mess with you. And that is why you got the performative action of all of our names going on one card.
So Claudia, you know, I was there at the it wasn't really a funeral. I guess it was a celebration. And all of the ladies a part of that franchise, Real Housewives of Atlanta, were in attendance except for Cynthia. And I think most of them came to celebrate Greg, because if you knew Greg, then you knew that he was a great guy. And I don't think the flowers being pitched in had anything to do with not liking Nene. I felt like that it was just probably the coordination of something. And yes, Claudia, she did get your flowers. She told me to tell you thank you. But, you know, I think this was a celebration of Greg. So regardless of how those women felt about Nene, everybody that interacted with Greg, in part of even production, knows how great he is. So hopefully that wasn't indicative of how they felt about Greg, because it was that day all about him.
You know what I have an issue with? I didn't mean to cut you off, Claudia. The nice, nasty dog whistle. You know what I'm saying? The implication, she didn't come until a week later. I mean, maybe she had another obligation that prevented her from being there. And then I don't know, the expectation that I guess she was supposed to be there on day one. Like, y'all ain't even cool like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, and if it wasn't that, then it'd be being reported that she was being phony. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she showed up and I ain't even talked to her in a year. Now here she go trying to be at the house and eat some of the fried chicken that the family brought over. It's like, with certain people, you just cannot win. And I want to tell you something from somebody who's experienced death, lost both of my parents. It was actually the people who called me and came and saw me the week or two after the death that actually had the biggest impact, because people call you the day of the repast, the day of the funeral, then they forget about you.
Good points. Everyone shows up the day of or the day before, the day after, but what about a week after? I'm going to say this. I'm going to be careful with this as well. It's no secret that her and we're not cool. We're not friends. We're nothing. We're nothing. But out of respect for Greg, I did send condolences, and I never made it public. I didn't put it out there or post something or tell the world and whatever. But I did feel triggered when she posted, when I heard about this story. I'm like, hold up. No one owes you anything. We didn't have to spend $1. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with your husband and paying respect to the man that we all got to know and love, who was so supportive and kind. Even when you were beefing with his wife, he was still a class act. And Nene, I can't tell you how to grieve, because again, I've never lost a husband. I've never lost a mate. I'm not married. I just have a boyfriend. But like, it's just such a tacky thing to did you Google how much the flowers cost? Like, don't, the things that you said about other people, you're lucky that anyone even showed up for you, actually. And the fact that people rallied around you, I thought was a beautiful moment. So let's not ruin it. Like, let's just build on that moment and move forward. You know what I'm saying?
And what would a separate set of flowers did? What would it have changed?
If I don't like someone and they lose someone, usually I'm just not going to say anything. So, if they put it on, that's fine. I mean, I really did feel bad for her. And I just feel like Nene is making these missteps that are just further sabotaging her brand and her likability. And I think, let me tell you this, as much as we beat whatever on the show, we had some cool moments off. And I think she's hilarious. I think Nene is one of the most entertaining reality stars that has ever been on television. And that's facts. And the fact that she's on television says a lot, because I think she deserves to be on television. But I think it's stuff like this that rubs people the wrong way, that may be hurting her. And I hope she can get through this and grieve properly and get back to where she's supposed to be. But this is not it, sis. Like, calling people out about how they chose to support, you in the death of your husband it's not cool.
So I understand the fact that, you know, when somebody does something from the goodness of their heart, so to speak, you know, you just accept it. You shouldn't have anything to say. You should just be grateful. But when you look at the overall situation dealing with Nene and the rest of the housewives, there's some animosity there. And so I can see why Nene would feel some type of way, because, you know, her and the girls are not rocking like that right now. And, you know, when you look at the history between Nene and Claudia, right, I can't look or take anything that Claudia says in regards to Nene as genuine. I just can't, because what? Claudia just lasted 1 year on the show, and I believe Nene got her kicked off the show, in my opinion. And so even though Claudia seemed to be giving constructive criticism here, I still think that Claudia will always have a disdain for Nene, right? For life, in my opinion. So guys, I want to play you the clip, and I know you guys sing this over and over, but I want to just be consistent with my commentary. I want to play you the clip of Nene just talking about all the backlash she was receiving when she spoke out in regards to how she really feels the housewives treated her during this turbulent time. So guys, just sit tight and I'll be back.
Hi guys, it's Nene. No makeup. But listen, I just had to jump on here to just say a couple of things really, really fast to you guys. First, I love you guys. And thank you so much for loving me, okay? The next thing is, there are some people in the world who live in negativity consistently throughout their entire life. And then there's sometimes in life where you have people who are stalkers, who actually stalk your life. I want to say everyone that reached out to me during the time that Greg was sick and during the time he was crossing over, I am so grateful. I am so grateful for everyone and everything. I'm so grateful. Listen, I'm very much a person that if you ask me something, I'm going to tell you. Yes, I am learning that every question does not need to be answered. I got that. But I want to say thank you to Tigger and V103 for having me on the show yesterday as a guest co-host. We had a super positive show. Obviously, any show that I do, they're going to ask me about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay? They did. I spoke positive of everyone. Everyone. I have nothing negative to say. I don't. My time on the show was what it was. I have nothing to say about any person, nothing. I'm done talking about all of that. Okay? So, they asked me if the Real Housewives sent condolences or gifts or anything. Everywhere I go, people ask me this stuff, okay? I get asked this stuff every single day. I said 1,000,000 times. Every single person that I can think of, maybe one or two didn't, the entire franchise reached out. The black girls and the white girls, okay? Bravo reached out. That included Andy, all the executives. Everyone reached out. The camera people on the ground, the production crew, everyone reached out. I was asked about gifts that were given. No, before I was asked about that, I was asked about if Cynthia attended Greg's repast. No, she didn't. I answered the question very honestly. I'm a very honest person. She did not attend. Did it bother me that she didn't attend? No. Seemed like it bothered other people because other people were always coming to me asking me about it. It didn't bother me. She showed up a week or so later at the lounge. Great. We had an amazing time. I think she said somewhere we had a great time. It was awkward for about 10 minutes and we had a great time. We had an amazing time. We laughed, we partied, we had a ball. It didn't really bother me. Okay? It just didn't. Greg's sickness was what it was. He understood what he was going through. He knew he was going to die. We had these conversations 1,000,000,000,000 times. Okay? I was asked about the gifts that the girls gave. I was asked what gifts the Real Housewives gave, or if they gave a gift or something I can't remember the exact question it was. And you know, I'm kind of fly at the mouth sometimes, so I said some little something on the side. But what the truth is, since we're speaking on the truth, I did receive flowers from the Real Housewives cast. And it lists their names: Kenya, Candy, Cynthia, Marlo. I think that's what it said. And I later said, I had a conversation with Marlo about it when she came to me. And I said, I did get the flowers. Of just, everybody had to chip in to get me a set of flowers. We're just kind of talking about it. It's just the truth. And I at that moment when she and I were having the conversation, I did feel away because Todd's mother passed some years ago. Greg and I catered all of this food to his mom in New York, and Marlo's brother passed, and I sent, things to cater for Marlo. And but later Candy sent me a huge bouquet of flowers. We text each other. I told her how much I thanked her. Marlo sent me money after that to buy things with for the repast. I'm grateful for everything. Like, we had the conversation. They bought a bouquet of flowers. It didn't matter. My house was like a garden. Okay. I got flowers from everybody from around the world. Okay. Flowers came in from everywhere, and I am grateful. Okay. I just don't feel like I have to get on here and break it down and explain, because I'm doing it. We had such a positive, fun show, and I never spoke negative of anyone. And my stalker is consistently speaking of me, but I'm telling you, I'm not the one. You need to stop your stuff, because I am not the one. I'm over here trying to live in a positive light. Please, I'm asking you to leave me alone. I want to say thank you to all of you who have consistently supported me. I do not care if you sent a gift. I don't care if you made a comment. I don't care what it was. I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for each and every last one of you. Thank you so much. My circle of support has been absolutely amazing. The people that are consistently checking on me and consistently supporting me, I love you, and I thank you. Thank all of you. Whatever you did it, and I appreciate it, whether it was big or small. I really appreciate it. And I know Greg truly appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I love you. Gotta go get some makeup now. Please leave me alone. I'm asking that. All of you guys, please leave me alone. I wish my husband had not died. I would not be dealing with any of this. Please leave me the alone.
All right, so you heard what Nene had to say. Now, one thing that I would have to say would have helped Nene in this situation, wouldn't have gotten this big, is if Nene had said that in the initial interview. If she had said, hey, but the girls came back and they did X, Y, and Z for me and things of that nature. So basically, it would have cleared it up right then and there, but she didn't do that. And so that's why the situation blew up to the magnitude that it did. Now, as far as her stalker is concerned, they're saying that she's addressing Claudia Jordan. So that's what the streets are saying. So she's basically telling Claudia to leave her the blank alone. But anywho, guys, last but not least, I want to play you all a couple of audio recordings of Cynthia Bailey addressing the situation. Now, mind you, she never said why her and Mike couldn't make it to the initial celebration of Greg, but she gave her 2 cents of an opinion about the whole situation. So guys, I'm going to play this clip and then I'll be back.
Talk about Cynthia's Real Housewives of Atlanta co-star Nene Leakes. She called Cynthia out during her Instagram live, saying you weren't there for her after her husband died. What were your first reactions when you saw this? Because I know a lot of people were sending it your way.
I was honestly surprised. I actually found out when I left here yesterday. Just say this first. I know that Nene is still mourning the loss of her husband, and you can't tell people how to mourn. However, I do think that, speaking for myself, I came with the best of intentions. I was not able to make it to Greg's celebration, but it was my mission in life to make sure I connected with Nene once I went back to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I did. And the reason I think I was so surprised is because when we did connect, for me, it was even better than even if I had gone to the celebration, because I got to spend some real time with her, one-on-one. We'd laugh, we drank, we smoked hookah, we danced. I was like, this is... I was great friends with Nene when Greg found out about his cancer. So when she decided to do the celebration for him, unfortunately, my husband and I were not able to make it. And I just felt so bad about it, decided that once I got back to Atlanta, I really wanted to, try to see her. It's been a couple of years, and, it's just been a lot said and a lot done in that time. The respect for his death was bigger than all of that for me. So I was like, okay, let's go. I need you to go with me. And hopefully she doesn't slam the door in my face. And honestly, it was a little awkward at first. It was a little awkward. I didn't really know what to do with myself. It's like, hi, I just wanted to, see you and give you a hug. And, after about 20, 30 minutes, we were fine. I'm really glad, honestly, looking back, that I didn't make it to the actual celebration, because I think if I had, I never would have had the moment that I got to have with her, just hanging out with her at her lounge.
All right, so you guys heard what she had to say. Now, again, she didn't give an explanation on why her and Mike couldn't make the initial celebration for Greg, but she's a grown woman and she doesn't have to. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna let this go right here and let y'all drop down in the comments and give me your true thoughts and assessments. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll get with you in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Peace.